Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by. Today I am continuing to work on my Margarete Miller Collage Weekly Planner Challenge. And again, Margarete Miller has created this little planner where every week she gives prompts for creating a collage, and you can purchase it either in this little book format. She also has some digital downloads where you can purchase, the images and the prompts, and also just the prompts. And I do have a link for the information below in the description box. I also have the hashtags that everyone's kind of using for this year's weekly assignments. So I do have those listed below also in the description box. I know there's been a ton of other ladies who have been participating, and it's been really fun to watch what they have been creating. And we are already on to week number 34. If you watched last week's, I did struggle a bit with last week's, so hopefully this week's goes a little bit better. And for this week, the prompts are light, whatever that means to you, any kind of tag, paper that has a stain or has been stained, sand or stone, something that starts with the letter P, and then a bonus is sticker. So light, whatever that means to you. And I pulled out a couple things from my stash. And I still have more of these sun charms that are floating around. A long time ago I bought a huge grab bag at a thrift store, and they had a ton of celestial type charms. And so I have all these sun themed charms. And it'd be nice to use up some more of them. I've used them in a couple of the other collages. But light could be a source like the sun, like sun, light and dark. So I pulled that out. And then the only other thing I could think of that I had in my stash is I did have some graphic 45 paper where I had cut out the images. I think it was from the typography collection. And they had these little kind of steampunky type light bulbs on it. So I cut a couple of those out also for that prompt, and I'll see which one of these that I think I'm going to use. I don't know yet. So that would be my light. And then as far as tags go, I did pull out a couple of tags. I have a pile that I use that's just junk or whatever that I usually cover up when I do junk journals. But here's a tag that came from some sort of clothing article with the different sizes on it. I also have this one that says sale price. I have a digital one. I think this one might be Tsunami Rose. That I've had in my stash for a long time. And then I also have this basket of tags that I've punched out of scrap paper. Sometimes when I get down to just a small piece of scrap paper, I'll either punch out a heart or a tag or something. Or if I've been doing a project and I decide I don't like these bigger ones, it's not going to work for what I want, I just stick them in here. So I have a wide variety of little small tags in here that I can pull from. And so that's what I have for the tag prompt. And then the next one is paper that has a stain or is stained. And so what I did pull out is I had this really grungy looking paper that's been coffee dyed. And so I did cut it down so that it would fit the page here, and I'll just use that as my starting piece for the background there. Or I could also rip it up too, but that's just a starting piece. Paper, so that's the paper that has a stain or has been stained, sand or stone. And so somewhere I do have some sort of scrapbooking paper that has like little rocks and stones on it, but I couldn't find it. And as I was looking through my other scraps, I did come across this one. This one is some older Prima paper. And there was these two little children on there, and they're making a little sand castle or something out of the sand. And so I thought that would work for that prompt for the sand or stone. And then the next one is something that starts with the letter P. And so I was again going through just my scraps and different piles of digital images that I had left over from past projects. And I came across this little digital image. Again, I'm pretty sure it's Tsunami Rose. But it says a token of our love, and it has P, it has the flowers, pansies. So I thought that would work for something that starts with the letter P. And then since I had that on my brain, I also had this paper scrap left over, and this one also has some pansies on it. along with postcards, so which also starts with P. So that one would work for something that starts with the letter P. Then the last item is bonus is a sticker. I still have these stickers floating around in my stash. They kind of look like wax seals. So these ones have butterflies. These ones have hearts. And then I also have these little butterfly ones that I got from my crafty YouTube friend Deanna Marie. And so I could also use one of those on here. And so that's what I have right now to start with and to play with. And I'm not quite sure. Sometimes, like I said, I have ideas in my head how I want things to lay out. And again, I could just use part of this paper that's been stained, you know, and maybe do this too in the background maybe. So I could cut that up or tear it. You know, and I have this that I could layer on top. And I think I'd rather go with just looking at how this is starting to look. I think I'd rather go with the charms over these little light bulbs. That just doesn't seem to fit. But then I have this little pansy thing. I could put that maybe up here in the corner somehow. And then I would need a tag. So that has pink and purple in it. So I'm just going to look and see if what I have that might have pink or purple in it. That doesn't quite match, but here's a little bit lighter purple. So that one maybe would match. And I could just tuck that kind of up here, maybe, and maybe put one of these suns up here for the heat source. I think I like that one the best or this one. I like that one. And so then I guess the only other thing that I would need to put on here if I chose to would be a sticker. You know, I could put a couple of these little heart ones maybe on here. Or the butterfly one. Maybe the heart ones. Those seem to match. Okay, so I think what I am going to do then is I might just trying to decide if I want to rip this down or just use like half and half for the background. I like the rest of that layout for the most part. So I think that works. And then put some stickers there. So yeah, I think I'm just going to cut these to size and do that. And then I will glue everything down and come back, and then I'll just maybe attach the stickers after I've got all this stuff glued down. I'll probably also, off camera, I'll go ahead and ink the edges of the paper too, just to make it stand out just a little bit. So I will be back after I've glued everything down, and I'll do this stickers with you guys, and then I'll probably be able to go through the prompts and make sure I haven't forgotten anything. And so I will be back shortly. I'm back, and I did finish gluing everything down other than the stickers. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I've decided to go with the heart ones. I think I'm going to run them this way. And so again, when I work with stickers, I do like to add a little glue on the back sides of them so that I'm assured that they're gonna stay down long term. And I think that's my final layout. And the one thing I did do that I didn't mention is I did add 2 tags up here in the corner. And I did do a little rip right here. And then I also stamped a rubber stamp on the tea dyed paper or the coffee dyed paper, and it looks like this. It's a really old one from my stash, and it was from a company called Just for Fun. It's kind of one of my go-to word stamps with just script on the background. But I did decide that this paper needed a little something more to it, so I did go ahead and do that when I was gluing everything down. But to go over the prompts one last time, light, whatever that means to you, and I decided to use like the sun or the light from the sun for that one. Any kind of tag, I have 2 punched out tags up here in the corner. paper that has a stain or is stained. And so this background paper has coffee dyed on it. And then the next one is sand or stone. And so I have this little image here of the two children playing in the sand, and they're making it some sort of sand castle. And another thing, the next clue is, or not clue, but next prompt is something that starts with the letter P. And so I do have postcard, and I also have the pansies on this paper and this flower right back here. So that's something that starts with the letter P. And then the bonus is a sticker, and so I chose these little stickers that kind of look like wax seals right there on the side, and they have little hearts on them. So I can hold it up close so you can kind of check out the overall layout. As kind of a quick one this week. And again, I just wanted to thank everybody so much for watching. Hopefully you guys are all doing well, and I hope to see you back next week for another Collage Weekly Planner episode, which will be episode number 35. So until then, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.